We're just getting started because we want to move along, and we have a message, and the message is about the union, and the message is small businesses are suffering, and if we do not unite, we're going to get crushed. Uniting, what does that mean? That means uniting in thought, uniting in spirit, in the mission, being together as one is a lot better when it's 1,000. Small business owners, I'm a small business owner. Even though my sales are pretty good, I am still a small business owner. And I always feel alone. Nix, do you feel alone in your business?
Very much.
Nelson, you've been in business how long?
40 years.
40 years. Do you feel alone?
Oh yes, I still feel alone.
Ruben, do you feel alone in your business? We as business owners, Ray, we feel alone. And that's why you've been invited here today to talk a little bit, because we're tired of feeling alone. Small business owners don't know where to go, where to get help. There are all types of associations, but to cater to a business owner that feels alone is tough. But what would happen if we got all the business owners together and we met once a month, once every 3 months, we had events where we didn't feel alone, where we could pick up the phone and say, I don't know how to do it, but I do know who can help us. I don't know how to get that money, but I have someone. I don't know about that type of insurance, but I have someone. I don't know on how to advertise, but I know a few people. I don't know about that medical question you have, but I have someone that I can answer. I have that answer for you in seconds. And that meeting point is in the union. That meeting point is in one section where we all can count on. Now, we're starting this union, and it's hard times right now. But this is the time when most companies, most people buckle down and they get divided. They get divided between the strong and the weak. And this is when the lion in you come out. The strength comes you and out and says, no, you know what? I'm not going to let this happen. I'm going to do another sale today. I'm going to go bust my butt and get that rent paid. And I'm going to figure out how to do it better so I don't have to suffer anymore. But now we have help with the union. The union has a tremendous amount of experience and a tremendous amount of resources where you can call. It doesn't cost you to call and have a conversation, because I believe everything starts with a conversation. Absolutely every power there is comes in with a conversation. Good morning, David.
Morning.
So we have a place to talk, and the union is that place. We have a place that has our language. It's called a small business union, where a lot of people are afraid to ask, where do I go? Who do I talk to? And through these conversations that I've been having for 30 years, 35 years, I felt alone up until recently. Up until recently, I have felt alone, and I'm going to today present someone that makes me feel not alone. Feel that I'm wanted, that I'm needed, and that my experience is needed, and that I can offer something. And that's the gentleman here sitting in front of us, or standing in front of us, Mr. Ray Sosa. Mr. Ray Sosa came into the union, I would say 6 months ago. And he listened. He listened to the union. And for some reason, I felt that he got it. I felt that he was really, truly listening. And small business owners need to be heard. Yes or no, Nix? Definitely. And he listened, he sat there, and then he spoke. He says, you know what? Fernando, you're the one that needs help, not me. That's what I got.
Yeah,
That's what I got.
exactly right. Yeah.
You're the one that needs help. The union needs help, your company needs help, and I'm here to help. I'm like, wow. This is interesting. I'm getting help when he's asking for help. Come on in, Washington. Come on in, Washington.
Yes.
Another business owner. And I felt that security that someone is coming that is asking for my help, asking for the membership's help. But he's saying, no, I want to help you. What do you need? And this is why this meeting is so important, because it's the other way around. That's what he taught me. It's the other way around, that most people come into the union and say, I want. But he came in and said something different. He said, how can I help? Because we all have something to help. And I want to give you some floor time here now, okay? On what you come to do and how you can help us. You don't see 30 people here. You see, you're speaking to 1,000.
Correct.
Okay?
Correct.
So I'm not going to introduce much of what you do. I'm going to let you do that, okay? As you speak, because through this conversation, things are going to come out naturally. Not as a politician, not as someone here doing business, but
As a fellow business owner.
yes. Mr. Ray Sosa, you've been in Florida for a long time, and now you're appearing now in Philadelphia. And I see you everywhere, all the time, nonstop. And I want to give you the mic.
Thank you so much. Fernando, Jillian, thank you for all your support for the past 6 months. Y quiero hacer a la misma vez en español para que toda mi gente que está en Zoom y toda la gente aquí entiendan. Yo soy el primer candidato latino que va para la posición de teniente gobernador. I'm the first Latino ever to go for the position of lieutenant governor. I'm the most business friendly. El triunfo de Pensilvania tiene que ver con los pequeños negocios, porque siempre ha sido el backbone. ¿Qué pasa? Las corporaciones grandes han tenido el insight de la ayuda gubernamental. So what I'm trying to say is that it's been unfair. It's been a system that's been inherently unfair to the small business operations. Okay, for the last 5 years, 45% of the people that opened their own small businesses went belly up. 45% en los últimos años de la gente que tiene pequeños negocios quebraron. ¿Por qué? Porque no tenían los recursos ni tenían la información en un solo sitio para mantener el negocio viable. No tenían la información de cómo llegar a una unión como esta para darle todos los recursos que necesitaban. Okay, so for many years, the state government in Pennsylvania, being the 6th largest economy, okay, has never catered to the small business. They never had information on an organization like this, the Small Business Union, where you could get in one stop for a regional area all your resources that you need. Well, that's going to change with me. Como teniente gobernador, yo voy a establecer un punto central en la oficina del gobernador para pequeños negocios. Con una sola llamada, usted puede definir cómo abrir un negocio, cómo conseguir financiamiento, cómo crecer ese negocio y al final cómo transferirlo. Y esto se hace con asociaciones públicas y privadas, trayendo gente como Fernando a la oficina del gobernador que dirija y que coordine los recursos del gobierno junto con ustedes. Y eso se hace en el estado completo. ¿Por qué? Porque nuestros latinos y la gente de pequeños negocios están en el estado completo, no puede ser una región nada más. So what I'm telling you that I will do is I'm going to actually establish as Lieutenant Governor a one-stop shop for small businesses to get all the resources that you need in one single place based out of the Lieutenant Governor's office.
Ray, I want to point out that people say, oh, there's plenty of places like that. And in actuality, I've been in business for a long time, and there isn't any place.
There is nothing in Pennsylvania like that. There might be special townships that decided to do that for the residents, but as a state, there's absolutely nothing. It takes about 7 government agencies to open one small business. And if you don't know, they'll shut you down. They'll give you fees. They'll give you, you need public-private partnership to make sure that, that all your rights are respected, okay?
What I've noticed, I'm sorry to cut you off, Ray, is what I noticed is, yo he notado que small business owners, pequeños negociantes, no quieren ayuda del gobierno.
Correcto.
No quieren ayuda del gobierno. Entonces dicen, no, yo no necesito, ¿sí o no, Nelson? El pequeño negociante tiene otra tela adentro de ellos, que dice, yo no voy a pedir por dinero, yo lo voy a hacer yo solo. Y eso no es lo que está diciendo Ray. Ray está diciendo que sí tenemos para ayudar, sin sentirnos que estamos pidiendo por algo. Because most small business owners do not want to ask for a handout. In Philadelphia, unfortunately, regrettably, that's the mentality. I don't know what percentage, but a lot of people ask for money and just say, please give me, please give me. And a small business owner doesn't want to do that. That's how I feel. And Nelson, you know, you can stop me. Jay, what do we do about the sound here? ¿Sí o no, Washington? El pequeño negociante no quiere pedir por dinero, no quiere que le regalen dinero. Y eso es un cruce que estamos pasando en este segundo, que si nosotros no empezamos a educarnos más en lo que es dinero, vamos a caer grandemente en esta crisis que estamos entrando. No estamos entrando, empezando la crisis. Y lo que Ray está ofreciendo, what Ray is offering us in this crisis, I don't know, Nick, you're suffering. Guess what? Everybody here is suffering. Everyone's suffering. Okay? Ask Nelson, 40 years in the business, accountant. How many stories he hears on a daily basis? If we do not start educating on what's really there for us, it's not a handout. It's not a handout. It's an assistance for us to survive. And it will only survive if we start talking with each other. David, am I right?
Absolutely.
David, you might get the floor for a few minutes here, okay? But if we do not start grabbing each other and saying, you know, Ray, you're up there, and he's going to help us with offices, we're not going to survive. Small business owners, this tax season is going to be horrendous. We have 20 staff people working right now doing taxes, and it's stress, stress, stress. We receive the stress from every client that walks in. And Nelson is smiling. He knows exactly. You should be talking up here, Nelson. It's the amount of suffering that comes into this office, and then we receive it, and all we can do is absorb it, and we're saying no more. No more. In comes Ray and says, I have something. So what is your total vision of what you're saying?
Okay, so when it comes to the operational logistics of what I'm thinking for the small business community, is just a one-stop shop for information, so you don't have to figure it out yourself, okay? So instead of you spending resources that you do not have and time figuring out how to open your business, your permits, all that stuff, that you need to go to the state in different offices, you get it in one place. When I explain that statewide, it's like I discovered fire. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world, okay? It's your right. We pay taxes. Our incumbents have to provide that to you, but they're not.
This country was developed and grown and established by businesses. 13 businesses got together and said, we don't want this anymore. We want freedom. We're going into the biggest inflationary period, which is taxes, okay? The biggest tax period, which is inflation. They go like this, okay? In our history, in our lifetime, we're going into it right now. And we're saying, let's survive properly by talking to each other, having meetings like this every so often, and letting business owners that cannot be here right now,
Correct.
okay? They cannot be represented.
Yeah, but we have a
Like,
Zoom.
oh no, my vision is not 30 people on Zoom. My vision is 1,000 people on Zoom on a weekly basis, talking with each other, connecting with people such as yourself. Now, give me a little bit of a history of where you've been in your lifetime.
Okay. So I've been appointed by 3 governors already, and those 3 governors put me in contact with Pennsylvania governors. I used to live in Florida, so I've been in task forces with Governor Rich, Governor Schweiker, and Governor Randall. So I already have experience in Pennsylvania business and legislative affairs since 1995. So I know how this works, and I'm bringing my experience as a banker. I've been a vice president for 7 national banks. I've had $2 billion in assets under management in my career, so I know what to bring to the table. So it's important to know that the lieutenant governor position has only 4 main duties, but those duties are very valuable to all of us. So first, it's the Partisan Parole Board. Okay, so I'm all about meritorious commutations for people that have paid their debt to society. Second, emergency management chair, and I am very, very vocal about declaring emergencies when they're necessary. Our area with the crime and our area with the business that are going belly up, deserves an emergency declaration for an influx of funds, especially for small businesses. Okay, so they can have the facilities to grow on their own. But they need help now.
Este señor es calificado. Él tiene toda la experiencia necesaria para manejar la posición que le está corriendo. Tiene mucha experiencia, años y años. Él sabe la parte de política y sabe la parte de negocio. Y la está conectando y diciendo, esa es una necesidad. ¿Okay? Entonces, él tiene una visión muy clara. Y él dijo, el momento, lo mismo que dijo David, la unión es donde va a estar todo en este momento. Porque aquí está la masa de personas de necesidad. Y está en una posición de llenar la necesidad. Él está en una posición que él me dijo la primera vez, el Lieutenant Governor no exige, no exercise, no, perdón, practica su poder. Él va a practicar su poder, porque él tiene los recursos necesarios. Y él dice, por aquí vamos ahora, vamos para el pequeño negociante. Entonces, ese señor está extremadamente calificado, tiene la experiencia y más que todo, él tiene el corazón del pequeño negociante.
Y él,
3 and 4.
I'm sorry?
You said 1 and 2?
And then 3 and 4. It's the local government advisory committee chair. So what that means is that you connect every single county to the lieutenant governor's office, so you know what's going on with businesses, with emergency management, with all that stuff. They haven't met in over 10 years. So when we have an emergency, what do? So as lieutenant governor, if you don't have that information, then you're wondering where to put your funds. And the lieutenant governor has access to CRA funds, to funds that are to further the community.
I've been
And if you
told-
don't know where to put them,
I've been told recently, weeks on weeks, there's tons of money out there. And how do we get access to them?
because all you have to do is meet with the community, and that's it. And they tell you, oh, by the way, for the last 5 years, we've been lacking this, that, the other. For example, my wife is a first responder, okay, and she's a doctor in a network. She has been having to reuse protective equipment repeatedly, and she knows what I'm talking about, while dealing with COVID positive people. And that wipes out our police, that wipes out our ambulance drivers, that wipes out our doctors. And it's all to the lieutenant governor's office to coordinate. It's not happening.
Entonces, que no chille no mama.
That's one way, yes.
¿Ok? Nosotros tenemos que pedir.
Lo que está diciendo es la incompetencia de los que están montados.
Sí, pero si nosotros no preguntamos tampoco. No hemos preguntado como pequeños negociantes. We haven't asked
Pero no
for help.
hemos presionado.
Porque ustedes no tienen la información
Claro.
para saber que ustedes tienen todo el
Todo
derecho de
derecho.
coger el teléfono y llamar a la oficina. Why are you not doing your job?
Yeah, but I, from a business owner, I'm sorry, I'm the business owner voice, and someone else can come up here and talk as a business owner. I don't ask for help. A grocery store owner does not ask for help.
Well, we got that, but
Yes,
also
but
We do
the
not
audience.
know, the most important thing I think that he's saying is that we don't know our rights. So
Yeah.
we don't know our
If you
rights,
don't know
then
your
we
rights,
don't
then you don't know what to
exercise-
ask.
Very good.
And you don't
Very good.
exercise your rights.
The very last position that the lieutenant governor has, and they haven't many years, is the head for the Military Community Enhancement Board. Has anybody
What?
heard about that?
What is that?
They haven't many years. Is a connection in between the Pentagon and the lieutenant governor's office to remedy the communities around military bases. Free money, free facilities, free fixing of roads, all that stuff. Why? Because communities around the military bases are affected. They haven't many years, so ignorance costs us money. There's money there and there's facilities. So whenever you see they can balance the budget, it's because they haven't done their job. Okay? Our recidivism alone costs $130 million per year. There isn't a budget that can be balanced with that, with a faucet of money. Okay? And then we let them go, and that is the most cruel thing. Because without a program to rehabilitate people, they come back. After 10 years, they don't recognize the world. It's up to the lieutenant governor to make sure that we give them jobs. We attract investments in the area. We rebuild their families. Why? Because those people are the people that want to connect to the union. Why? Because they might be able to redo their lives with a business. And that's where our private-public partnerships come in.
Para todos que están escuchando, toda esta información es valiosa. Todos los negociantes no saben de esta información, ¿cierto, Nelson? Y perdone que te estoy mirando a usted porque tú eres un mentor mío.
No, no hay problema.
¿Ok? No sabemos esta parte de nuestros derechos, nuestros beneficios, no sabemos. Entonces la unión va a traer personas como Ray y otras personas. Ahí tenemos otra persona aquí atrás, David, que tenemos ese acceso a esos recursos. Y más que todo es educación. Cómo manejar nuestro negocio, cómo defendernos. Porque si no, vamos a sufrir y sufrir y sufrir. Y estamos sufriendo en este momento. Gracias a Dios que Taxis empezó, por lo menos esta oficina ya va a estar respirando. Pero si vamos a entrar, estamos entrando en el tiempo de crisis económico. No sé si va a durar 1 año, 2 años o 3. Pero si no empezamos a hablar en este formato, conectar y dice, venga para acá, ¿ok? Ayúdenos. Si no lo podemos hacer, los negocios no van a existir. Esta oficina no va a existir. ¿Quién voy a tener que decirle, bye bye? Mira, como usted entró última, usted se tiene que ir. Como usted no está produciendo, usted se tiene que ir porque la compañía no está sosteniendo. ¿Ok? It's sad that we're going to go through this. But we're going to do it properly. This happened before in history. We're entering history again, where we have to unite. Okay? Where are we going to unite? How are we going to unite? We're going to really think about choosing people that are going to fight for us.
Las uniones insulan a la población contra problemas económicos. Si todo el mundo se une, no importa lo que pase en la economía, es self-contained. Por eso siempre yo recomiendo a todo el mundo, únete para que no estés solo. En cualquier movimiento económico, si no estás unido, vas a quebrar. Y especialmente lo que viene ahora, y Fernando está correcto. Si no ponemos nuestra gente en posiciones que te digan la verdad y te digan los derechos que tú tienes, nunca se nos van a dar. Todos los políticos que están allí por muchísimos años, y todo el mundo dice lo mismo, ¿me entiendes? Tocan en tu puerta para la elección nada más. Nunca te explican lo que ellos pueden hacer. ¿Por qué? Y esto es en inglés, substance invites inquiry. Right? So you don't want to put yourself against the wall as an incumbent when people are going to tell you, wait, I know that you do this. Why are you not doing it? So nobody explains what they can do or what they cannot do. Well, that changes with me. Okay? Ustedes tienen derecho, y si no ponemos a nuestra gente que crean en las minorías, que crean en los latinos y que sepan lo que los negocios sufren, porque yo soy uno que se levanta a las 6:30 de la mañana a tocar puertas y a hacer llamadas. ¿Por qué? porque si quiero crecer el negocio mío, hay que hacerlo.
Ahora, Ray, ¿tú eres republicano o democrático?
En la papeleta de la primaria, yo soy demócrata, pero esta posición es una posición para todo el mundo. Yo tengo amigos republicanos que van a votar por mí en la general.
Many people believe that the small business union is a Republican. No, it's small business. That's it. The name says everything.
It's
small
for
business,
everybody.
Okay? So why we have a Democrat, supposedly I'm a Republican, why are we talking? It's because I listen to his heart. The union has listened to his heart, has listened to the platform, is interested, and he's saying, I get elected, I'm gonna bring this to the community, to the small businesses. Okay? What are the benefits? Jillian's gonna come up here a little bit later, and she's gonna talk a little bit about the benefits of the union. But I listen to this guy's heart. I listen to what he's been through, and he's consistent. This is the 6th time I see him. I see him at other events. He's talking the same exact thing. And this is what the union does. Yes, Pedro?
I can realize what he said, the information we missing, that touched me.
Yeah.
I just met Ray today, but we cannot ask for what we don't know, and sometimes we are afraid to ask because we're gonna be rejected. If we go to the city, if we go to the government, we're gonna
No
be rejected.
incumbent will do what I just did. Why? Because letting you know what your rights are invites inquiry,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly, that's very powerful.
But if you leave it gray, then you could come back and no, I've done everything for you. No, they haven't. No, they haven't. Our businesses are flopping at a record rate. So he's right. The economic forecast for the next 2 years, if we don't change this, is going to be catastrophic. And the unions are going to be the only ones that are going to be your raft. But we shouldn't be there. We shouldn't be there.
I said all the time, if you have if you lack information, you cannot take a good decision.
No more, Pedro, no more.
No more.
That's why you're here, you're the
I'm
union.
here.
Nelson's the union, Nick's lost the union, Ray's the union, we're all the, oh, another accountant, this is an accounting seminar today. Another great accountant here in the city of Philadelphia.
Welcome.
So, no, the union is now here to do this constantly. Okay, constantly talking to people that work for us. Guess who pays this? Guess who pays this gentleman here? Tom, who pays this gentleman here? Not me, us. Every single taxpayer, nickel and dimes, every single week out of our paycheck goes to pay his salary and other people's salary. So we have to demand, what are you doing? What do you do for us?
Well, in my vision, I come from a family of public servants. So people don't like to say public servants because they're used to that royalty status and they enjoy it. Okay? In my particular case, I work for you. You deserve to know your rights. You deserve to tell me, hey, listen, you're not delivering. And those are the people that we fire. Why? Because we're business owners. We understand efficiency. If it's not efficient, get the hell out. Have somebody in that knows the job. And folks, y para mi gente latina, si no ponemos a alguien de nosotros que entienda nuestra situación, nunca se nos va a dar. Everybody says the same thing. I understand why Latinos go through. Well, if you're not Latino, you have no clue. You
And this
have no
happens
clue.
for the Haitian community too, Nix. Right?
My
You need to
Haitian
bring-
brothers and sisters.
We got a couple online too.
Well, the immigrant.
Immigrants.
We're talking about the immigrant.
Every
You have to
single-
be an immigrant to understand an immigrant.
Well, Puerto Ricans coming here without any benefits, and I'm Puerto Rican, even though we're born American, we are in the same boat as an immigrant. If you don't know your information and you don't know what your resources are, then you have no way of accessing, and you will flop because you don't know what you don't know. And my Haitian brothers and sisters, I've always said it, it's the single most underrepresented community in Pennsylvania. And it's the saddest thing because there's 30,000 strong just here. It's a massive pocket of underrepresented people that do not know their rights. Okay, that ends with me, folks. help me get there. And Fernando has recorded me 6 times already, saying the same thing. Just hold me accountable. I invite them. Why? Because I've done it for 3 governors already. Okay, I know what to do from day one. My opponents that I'm going to battle today in Harrisburg, because as soon as I'm done, I'm going to Harrisburg to the big debate. They feel that not only do they have no concept of what a business is, they feel like hopping branches in government is something that they can do freely. You can't call yourself qualified when you're hopping branches of government. Okay, it doesn't work that way. You need to know what you're doing.
So what do we do? When's the election?
The election is on May 17th.
May-
So in Pennsylvania, that means that I need all my Democrats to vote for us. Then on the general, anybody, all my Republican friends can vote for me.
So we should go out and vote.
You have to go out and vote.
I'm sorry, it's so simple. It's that simple. Everybody's laughing. No, not only you bring a friend, whoever it may be, and get to those polls. And this time we're going to vote for who?
For Ray Sosa for lieutenant governor. It's the only Sosa in that ballot. Okay? And folks, when it comes to successes on campaigns, and I ran very, very successful campaigns before for people in federal, in state, and in county. Okay, it's 2 things. Funding, because it's a reality, you have to buy your promos, you have to get support, and the name recognition. So I'm asking all the businesses that can to allow me to put my sign on their door.
Todas las personas que tienen negocio, que están escuchando, si le interesa a Ray, le gusta lo que están escuchando, le gusta la unión, ¿ok? Van a recibir gratis un panfleto para poner en su ventana. Ray, vamos a ver si camina de negocio en negocio y entrega eso, pero entienden la importancia de poner ese cartel en su ventana. Entienden el poder de ese papelito, ¿ok? Porque lo van a ver 500 clientes suyos semanal. Entonces, si lo tenemos por un mes, lo van a ver 2000 veces fácilmente las personas entrando en su negocio. Y entonces, eso es todo lo que tienen que hacer, apoyar emocional.
Y es clave lo que se llama el name recognition, que la gente entienda que yo estoy corriendo y así salen y se motivan a votar. ¿Por qué? Porque los 25 años que yo tengo en ayudando a administraciones, yo sé una cosa, latinos votan por latinos. Tú puedes tener 700 nombres y sale un González, o sale un Sosa, o sale un Rodríguez. No te importa la plataforma. Latinos siempre votan por latinos, pero siempre y cuando sepan que hay un latino corriendo.
Ray, no sé si usted sabe, aquí unas cuantas personas de la media, okay, ellos, si le gustan, por favor, reparten todo esto.
Sí.
Okay, aquí tenemos otras asociaciones escuchando y están presentes. Aquí tenemos otros políticos y todos necesitamos, seamos carniceros, bodegueros, pizzerías, cualquier, políticos, médicos, enfermeras, entender el mensaje. Si nosotros no los unificamos, vamos a estar sufriendo mucho.
Por generaciones, por generaciones. Si no empezamos a poner la gente de nosotros en la posición de poder y gente que entienda lo que pasa a un comerciante, lo que pasa a su familia, lo mucho que cuesta establecerse en una comunidad, nunca se nos va a dar. Nunca.
Ray, te voy a entregar una tarjeta de membresía de la Unión, ¿ok? Inmediatamente va a subir a Gillian a hablar un poquito más, unos 2-3 minutos más, porque yo sé que los pequeños negociantes tenemos que ir a trabajar. Un segundo, esta es una tarjeta de membresía, yo particularmente tengo la primera, usted tiene la segunda. Espero que cada persona, si le interesa ser miembro, pase, no cuesta nada para ser miembro. Gillian es la presidente de la Unión, ella está trabajando día y noche por todos estos esfuerzos y aunque no se vea, mucho trabajo ya está hecho y Gillian ha hecho casi todo. Pase, Gillian.
Y va a ser primer teniente gobernador con una tarjeta de la Unión.
Amén.
Eso es lo importante.
Amén. Sí, no, te voy a quiero comentar es que nosotros también como latinos tenemos que poner fuego en nuestro estómago para salir a hablar de las cosas que realmente nos interesan. O sea, la gente está muy calmada, está muy tranquila, o sea, ¿sabes? Salgamos de esa letanía. Es tiempo de que salgan de esa letanía. Entonces, nosotros hemos diseñado este sticker, ¿ok? Para cada uno de los locales de ustedes, para que coloquen que para proteger al small business, para proteger a los pequeños negociantes, hay que votar, hay que ir a votar, hay que ponerse las pilas, porque mientras más masa morra. Entonces, echen para adelante.
Y no solo
¿ok?
eso, de este punto en adelante, no importa el que ustedes quieran apoyar, el político que venga y no sea pro negociante y sepa, pregúntenle sin pena, y sepa lo que está diciendo y cómo los van a ayudar, ustedes le dicen con muchísimo respeto, no vamos a votar por usted. El que quiera a los negociantes y el que le vaya a dar ayuda sólida a los negociantes, ese es el plantel.
Sí.
¿Ok?
Entonces, dentro de su sobre, ustedes tienen información sobre Ray Sosa, tienen su bio para que lo estudien bien, para que lo compartan, y adentro también tienen un sticker. Lo que tengan aquí enfrente es el sticker que tienen adentro, y tienen un sticker de la manito para que se la pongan a su celular, a su cosita, lo que quieran, ¿entiendes? Para que empecemos a promover la unión de manera realmente válida y realmente valiosa. ¿Ok?
Correcto. Y muchísimas gracias. Y quiero dejarle a todo el mundo con la información de cómo contactar a la campaña, y es Ray Sosa LT Gov 2022. Ray Sosa LT Gov 2022.com. Ese es el website. Pueden hacer contribuciones ahí. Pueden dejarnos el nombre para voluntarios, porque necesitamos voluntarios también. Y cualquier pregunta, como yo lo dije anteriormente, son bienvenidas, ¿ok?
Está en el sobre, de todas maneras, la información del...
Sí, yo tengo una pregunta sencilla y...
Me gustan las complicadas.
Sí.
Pero dígame.
No, con relación a la posición que usted está aspirando, Lieutenant and Governor, ¿eso significa o es equivalente?
Teniente gobernador.
Sí, o a vicegobernador.
Como vicegobernador.
Equivalente.
Bueno, aquí no se llama vicegobernador, es teniente gobernador. Y entonces, idealmente es la posición que está después del gobernador. Si el gobernador por alguna razón no puede desempeñar la posición, automáticamente queda el lieutenant governor como gobernador hasta la próxima elección.
Algo que yo no sabía hasta muy poco, porque yo no entendía políticas. Estados Unidos son 50 y son como 50 países, y cada país tiene un presidente. El gobernador es el presidente de cada país, y después tenemos el teniente gobernador. Él está corriendo para esa posición.
Correcto.
Sí, cosas que el pequeño negociante normalmente no es político, porque los enseñan, no hablan de religión y no hablan de política. Es al contrario, debemos educarnos de religión. Debemos educarnos de política.
No es para callarnos la boca,
No.
es para que no discutamos, no es para que no hablemos, hay que hablar.
Ese es el problema. Hay una cultura de tratar a los políticos electos como realeza. Y en realidad es todo lo contrario. Okay, ellos van a coger el derecho que piensan que tienen porque ustedes se lo están dando. Y al revés. Ustedes le dicen, si ustedes no ayudan a la comunidad de nosotros, no en elección, yo quiero ayuda la semana que viene. No volvemos a votar.
La señora Cruzet.
Bueno, lo mío sería preguntas / opinión o
¿Cómo no?
concern. Yo tengo como 10 años trabajando en la comunidad, ¿verdad? Servicios sociales. Y me encuentro con tantas ocasiones donde los negocios son rechazados o no son parte de la ética, y pueden muchas personas hasta ser amenazados con ser terminados a relacionarse con alguna invitación de oportunidad mientras está en ese servicio. Entonces, en realidad, como ya sabemos, ¿verdad? Todos los negocios del backbone del país.
del Estado.
¿Por qué es tan difícil que alguien viendo una oportunidad lo que quiera es ofrecer una ayuda?
Lo que usted-
Y al contrario, es como que, wow, este monstruo, no podemos hablar de ese monstruo. ¿Pero por qué? Es un
Bueno,
concepto
eso
de-
aplica a las non-for-profits. ¿Por qué? Porque tienen un estatus que tienen que ser neutral. Pero lo que yo le digo a todas las non-for-profits, ustedes tienen derechos igualitos que todo el mundo, pero ustedes le tienen que dar la oportunidad a cualquier persona a hablar. Lo que yo le digo a las non-for-profits, la manera de hacerlo es simplemente, ustedes le abren la puerta no a una sola persona o a un solo partido. Ustedes le abren la puerta a todo el mundo que quiera ayudar a las cosas que usted apoya.
No,
Si
y en
usted-
realidad sería un gran alivio, un apoyo que no se vea como que, ok, no soliciting, pero ¿por qué no? ¿Entiendes? Que haya alguna
Ese tema-
esperanza de
ese
que
tema-
cambie esas reglas en el futuro.
Ese tema viene de nosotros. ¿Por qué? Porque yo no me siento junto con otras personas y hablo. Si nosotros pequeños negociantes, if we small business owners speak up, just 1 second, we have all the power. Okay? It's the fear of saying, because most of small businesses, not all, but most, are immigrant grown. They come from other countries. Because they come from other countries, they come in like this. And they stay this way. Mostly because of the language barrier, but inside of them, they're lions. Inside of them, vienen políticamente fuertes. Inside of them, saben exactamente lo que es correcto. Pero porque se sienten solo, no levantan la cabeza a hablar. Entonces no dicen, pero hay un servicio por aquí que podemos usar. Mira, yo tengo un amigo que me puede ayudar con una fuerza. Mira, en grupos los podemos ayudar mucho. Y es levantar la cabeza. Eso es todo. Mira,
El hecho de que
así
usted
de
está
fácil.
pensando abrir un negocio quiere decir que usted tiene más experiencia y más ganas de hacerlo que 80% de la población en los Estados Unidos que prefiere coger un trabajo regular.
Mire, discúlpeme que me siga tomando.
No.
Pero si hubiera una forma de que en sus metas usted se ponga, no sé, perdone el atrevimiento, ¿verdad? Pero que haya una forma de que, ok, yo voy a tener la oportunidad de hablar con personas que son decision makers, o stakeholders se llamaría en
Los dos,
términos
lo mismo.
políticos. Vamos a hacer algo para que no se vea tan prohibido que un negociante quiera hablar con cualquier organización y que no se le niegue la oportunidad, ni siquiera se le da como
Eso-
antes de que ellos expresen qué es lo que quieren hacer.
Eso es parte de lo que yo voy a abrir en la oficina del teniente gobernador. Si necesitas los recursos, yo te voy a conectar.
Así va a pasar. Pero usted debe estar parada aquí.
Ese es un consejo, yo siempre le digo
Aquí,
a él,
usted
yo
debe
veo
estar
el
aquí.
esfuerzo de él.
Si no tienes la conexión con gente que te entienda, jamás en la vida se te va a dar.
Pero
Eso es
yo
parte.
digo que tiene que tener los cojones, sacarlos y pararse al lado de las personas que pueden hacer decisiones.
Los cojones y los ovarios. Hay que ser políticamente correcto.
Porque están tanto rechazo y la persona tiene que lidiar con la emoción.
Ya no más
de,
rechazo.
Ya
no más rechazo.
Déjame.
Yo me voy a parar para mí.
Tú
¿Quién
sabes,
más se va a parar para
el
nosotros?
negociante tiene un corazón.
Esa
también.
es parte del One Stop Shop. Es para mí, Dani. Y eso es parte de eso. Darte la conexión
Ese es-
local
eso es un
desde el
sentimiento.
Estado a tu área. Es bien fácil para mí o el staff mío llamar al representante de usted y decirle, te vas a reunir con ella la semana que viene.
Tom, are you getting
¿Tienes
this?
razón? Porque sí. ¿Me entiendes? Esa es de la manera que funciona. Pero si no hay esa presión política, no va a funcionar jamás en la vida.
Next slide. Do you have the guts to stand next to someone that can help? Most people don't. Most people don't. We keep quiet because we got to go home and make some money. But we have to stand up and say, no.
There's people that can help us. Let's talk.
And that's the connection that the union makes. And that's why we're here. Look, I know there should have been 1,000 people here today. We're all busy. Thank you for coming, Franklin.
Thank you.
Okay? It's a difficult. And people are staying. This is good. Okay? It's difficult for small business owners not only to lift their head up, talk, and then go,
Hi.
the union represents you. If you can't make it, this is what we would like to do. But we need individually, everyone, to become a member, understand, and become another lion. Fernando's not the lion. Everyone is the lion. We have it inside of us. We have to exercise our rights and say, no more.
I want to say something else. People need to understand that in order for us to be able to help and become that group as a voice, you have to call us and tell us what your problems are. You have to be part of the groups. You have to, speak on the chat. You have to speak on the Facebook. You have to say what your problems are. Let us know where you are, and let us know what it is that you need, what it is that everybody
That's the
needs in order
blessing
to make a
of a union.
great plan for the future.
Right, so that's the blessing of a union. I recommend it to everybody because it increases your power tenfold.
Franklin, usted como presidente de la asociación, ¿le gustaría decir algo?
Estamos escuchando, más estamos prácticamente como media.
El más sabio esta mañana.
Sí.
Muy bien. Thank you so much.
Placer.
Okay. And wish you a safe drive up to Harrisburg, because that's sometimes a little difficult, snowing.
How can people see the debate? Is it going to be
On PCN Live at 4.
PCN Live at 4?
It's the
No
Pennsylvania
se lo
Network
pierdan.
for Public Broadcasting.
A las 4 hoy hay un debate y Ray va a estar ahí representando para el estado de Pensilvania. Se puede mirar en la emisora PSN en vivo. Entonces,
Defendiendo nuestras uniones, defendiendo las minorías, defendiendo a los latinos,
Amén.
que hace falta la representación.
Amén.
Así que pongan el app en su teléfono y vamos a estar ahí live con todas las otras
A las
gente.
4 de la tarde. Sure.
muchísimas gracias, Ray, por venir. Okay. Gracias.